Let's see if Josh Wynn can carry home the victory. He's been denied twice by two Barker twins, but today, this is his time. He will prevail, maybe. And it is. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start for Josh Wynn. Crissy Harding thinking about first place, but instead it's Ager thinking about first place, and he takes both of them into turn 2 as Josh back down the inside. Ager overshot turn 3. He's back down the inside of turn 4. Crissy Harding remains in third place, so it's as you were somehow into turn 5, and Josh sets about building that gap, the gap that he needs to win this race and get himself, hopefully, oh, he won't get promoted at this point, but get himself a well-deserved victory. And we'll soon see as there's some more side-by-side action. Raj Kular coming off worse. Some more side-by-side action. We'll soon see the full positions after the first lap as they go over the timing line. Ager again having to defend from the hard charging Crissy Harding. She made her way from 7th to 5th. Now she's in 3rd. She likes the odd places, and she is certainly looking racy. But who is that over the line? We're still waiting for the full live timings, unfortunately. But it looks like Josh Wynn is in a winning position. He is pulling away from Ager up at the front. And trying to find lightweight 3. Oh, no, lightweight 3. So we have Josh Wynn in the leading position, followed by Ager in second place. Apologies. As we wait for the drivers to go back across the timing line, and hopefully now we will see the full positions with Crissy Harding now perhaps dropping back into the clutch from the mid-pack. She needs to be careful of that. And yes, over the line we will have the full position. So, your leader, Josh Wynn, from Murray Ager, Christina Harding, Tom Moreton, Junaid Jones, Lauren Seagrave, Adam Gudgeon, Libby Wilburn, Ryan Nicholas, Morgan and Hugh Moreton round off the grid. So the gap between Josh Wynn and Murray Ager, half a second, a further 1.5 seconds back to Crissy Harding. But then Crissy Harding has close attention of Tom Moreton and Junaid Jones. She needs to be careful that she doesn't start falling back inside the pack. And just as I say that, side by side between Junaid Jones and Crissy Harding, a bit of bumping, she goes back through. If she does not give that place back, that's going to be 30 seconds, I'm afraid, as she gets more bumping, and that's Junaid Jones back through. Or is it Tom Moreton? I don't know, they both wear blue suits. But both Lauren Seagrave and Junaid Jones both giving and receiving a bunch of contact with Crissy Harding. And Crissy comes off in 4th, but there are going to be penalties. Yes, there's penalties of 121, 5-second penalty. That is Junaid Jones, presumably for the move that shuffled Crissy Harding out wide, with Murray Ager dipping into the 56s already. That gap between himself and the leader, Josh Wynn, closing to 0.3 of a second. But the gap behind Junaid Jones is 5 seconds. All that fighting has allowed the leaders to go away. Now it's Junaid Jones's job to jump forward towards the leading pack. So Josh Wynn, all he needs to do now is stay calm under pressure. You have a driver behind you, but you've had drivers behind you before, and they've stayed behind you before. You need to keep this rhythm going, as through the left-hander of 10 and 11, he feels the need to defend, but is it the up and under for Murray Ager? No, not quite. Josh Wynn still maintains the lead and out through the back straight. That gap increases, but he is in the slipstream as they hurtle down towards turn 3. It's very hard to follow closely through there, and the gap does increase. Murray too far back to launch an attack. Josh going half defensive as they land through onto the curb out the exit of turn 4 and now through turn 5. The left-hander up the hill. Murray seems to be falling back just a little bit. Josh owns this part of the circuit. Going through turn 6, the tight turn 6, the exit, the gap grows again. Now, down the hill, tricky braking zone, hold it tight to the apex. Get it over to the left-hand side before the kink. Slight lift before on the brakes into turn 9. Keep it nice and steady, both drivers do so. But Murray Ager will be obligated to close that ballast. He needs to close that ballast ASAP or will risk a mechanical penalty. as again through the left-handers of turn 10 and 11, Ager closes right up, and in fact, he's gone straight past. He's gone straight past on the cutback. Josh Wynn and taken the lead, but he needs to close that ballast now. He needs to get past Josh Wynn, get into a comfortable lead as he has now, as Josh has gone wide, but he needs to close that ballast. Otherwise, it's the risk of a penalty. He still hasn't closed it. Will he find the time to do it? He's trying to, but there are corners and become corners on a racetrack. Will that be a surprise to you? There are corners on a racetrack? Yeah, you need to find a good place to close that ballast, my friend, otherwise you're going to have a penalty heading away. Josh is also heading away. He is still in chase. He does not want to give up this victory for anything. Through the kink of turn 8, into turn 9, this is where Ager was really catching up with Josh. Through these left-handers is where his car seems to be the best. So going through turn 9 and through turn 10, he's being told by his adoring fans to close the ballast. You need to do it now, otherwise you're going to have a problem. He tries to, but he fails going into turn 1. Now he's done almost 2 laps with an open ballast board. That cannot be good in the eyes of the stewards as Josh follows through, but he's wide again in the right-hander of turn 3. He's way too far back to launch an attack into turn 4, but he does close up on the braking and into the left-hander of turn 6. He hugs that apex, and that ballast board is still open for Murray Ager. I worry that people are looking at that with frowning faces, as again through the left-hander of 7 and the kink of 8, Josh closes up, but this is the part of the track where Murray is dominating. As Josh closes up into the right-hander of 9, but into the left-hander of 10, the gap opens again. He has a very nice exit, flicks it left into turn 11, the penultimate corner of the circuit now right. He needs to close that ballast now. He attempts for a 3rd time, but he fails, and he does it! He does it! He's turned it down, and now he can focus on the driving. Now he can focus on pulling that gap, which is extended to 3/4 of a second from Josh Wynn. Junaid Jones now full 7 seconds back, and in P4, Crissy Harding a further 7.5 seconds back. So there really is no pressure on the top 2. They can worry about each other while the entire rest of the grid is on the other side of the track. We're going to keep looking at the leaders though. Josh not letting this victory go. He is still well within a second of Murray Ager, who is trying to build himself a comfortable gap through the flick of 8, down into 9, steady braking zone. Let's get it in with no drama. Good from both drivers as they open up the steering wheel. Now for left, as early on the power as you dare. Flick it down into left-hander of 11, the penultimate corner. No drama from either driver. Flick it right into the last corner. A little bit of a slide from Josh, and look how he slams the steering wheel. He is upset with that move as the gap extends to over a second, but he shouldn't give up yet. Even if he's frustrated, the gap between the 2 drivers is barely a 1/4 of a second a lap. He can certainly overcome that over the course of 4 minutes. Anything can happen. He can pressure a mistake from Murray, but no, he looks good through the first 4 corners of the circuit, keeping it tidy through the uphill 5, down into the left, tricky braking zone. He seems to be closing up. Will he make any gains on the exit? The gap is still right there. Josh should not give this up. Murray Ager now rises through the kink of turn 8 into the tricky braking zone, turn 9. Keep it nice and composed. Both of these drivers have driven this track enough to know what they're doing at this point today. You've seen how the drivers have improved and evolved their racing lines and the way they take these corners throughout the day. Now they're very composed, very smooth. They're matured racing lines. This means the gap between them is very small, as the gap has gone down by just under 2/10 to Murray Ager. Josh is still in this race with 3 minutes to go. He has a fair few laps yet to make this right. Junaid Jones is now 8 seconds back. There really is no pressure at all, as Crissy Harding is now holding up everybody in 5th place, as Adam Gudgeon is the one who goes through. Now he can set off after Junaid Jones, even if at this point it is a little bit of an effort in vain, but the 2 leaders still fighting indirectly out in front. Murray Ager trying to break away, but his ballast opening has come loose again. He needs to fix it, although I don't think there are going to be many penalties dished out for that. And Josh Wynn is closing up to the back. He's being told again to close it. He knows it's open, but he needs to navigate the track, guys. Driving first, ballast second. There he goes, he knows what he's doing, slams it shut, hits it for good measure. Josh now chases him. There are 2 minutes remaining in this race, and the gap is reduced to half a second, but there are yellows out. Is there a driver off? There's a driver into the barriers. And is that, I wonder, Hugh Moreton? We'll see as the drivers come over the line. But the leaders are now back to racing, and Josh is right on his back bumper. He has halved the gap between them, only a few laps to go. Now rising up into turn 6. Josh will get ever closer, and is that Hugh Moreton? I believe it is Hugh Moreton who has unfortunately found the barriers. He's got going again. We're back to green racing conditions, but through the kink of 8 and down into 9, that gap looks healthy as Murray Ager has sort of stabilised it through the infield, and now as they rise through, there are only a couple minutes and a couple of laps left. I hazard a guess as to whether the last lap will be the next lap, the lap after this, as they're getting cheered on. The gap between them has risen to 9/10. The gap has doubled. Murray's really put the pedal to the metal and left nothing on the table in these past couple laps to make sure that Josh cannot get even close to him. He's nowhere near close enough to launch an attack into turn 4. He's allowed to take the racing line. Both drivers going at it as fast as possible. Down into the left-hander of turn 5. Both of them keep it tidy. Now rising over the hill into turn 6. Don't go wide. Don't risk going off into the wall or getting a penalty for track limits. Both of them navigate it fine into the downhill off camber curve that is turn 7 and into the thick of 8. It looks like Josh has closed the gap slightly into turn 9. No drama from both. Josh adopting a more direct entrance. Josh now into turn 10. This is where Ager seems to be the dominant car. And into turn 11 you see the gaps go up again. And both of you flick it beautifully through the final corner. And this will be, I believe, the last lap of lightweight sprint 3. Will Josh Wynn be denied another victory by a third driver? Will he come second for a third time today? The gap is too big to launch an attack into turn 4. He takes the ordinary racing line, still hunting Murray Ager, and he has set the fastest lap of the race, but only by 5 thousandths. That is the level, that is how close these two drivers are, both lapping 56.699 and 56.694. As into the final sector of the lap. It's not the last lap yet, we have one more to go, but Josh now needs a miracle to close that gap, as Ager has built it over, again, the course of the infield, and now to the final 2 left-handers on the track. You can see how steady he is. He looks like an accountant. It looks like he's typing at a desk. Oh, it is the last lap. He's the winner. Oh, Murray Ager is the winner, and Josh Wynn is not a winner. Unfortunately, Josh Wynn did not win. He has to settle for second for the 3rd time today. Firstly to Reese Barker, then to Brandon Barker, and then now to Murray Ager, who takes the victory. I'm sure he won't be happy with that, as we see some more drama with the kart 116 over the line, Libby Wolven, and I'm sure Josh will not be happy with that result, but congratulations to Murray Ager, a well-controlled race. As wherever he went, he seemed comfortable, he was building the gap. He was doing what you have to when you're in first, even when you're under pressure, putting in the consistent laps, and even as that gap ebbed and flowed, he was always in control. So congratulations to our final winner in the lightweight split 3 category, Murray Ager. So your final grid positions for that final was Murray Ager in first, Josh Wynn from Junaid Jones, Adam Gudgeon, Lawrence Seagrave, Ryan Nicholas. Crissy Harding ended up being all the way down in 7th after starting 3rd. In 8th was Morgan, in 9th Libby Wolven, then Hugh Moreton and Tom Moreton, the 2 Mortons rounding off